So I talk a lot on my videos about emotional regulation, learning how to control your temper, to control your emotions in general. And yesterday I witnessed something that was a huge reminder to me, and I thought I'd share it with you about the need to learn to accept things, to let it be, to regulate how we feel and not let our emotions take over. So I was going to the dentist, and as I was walking towards the dentist, I could hear a lot of commotion on the other side of the road. So I stopped like any curious human being would do, and I looked across, and there was a guy basically surrounded by about 2 or 3 other guys who were obviously trying to calm him down, who apparently had got a ticket. He'd been ticketed for either not paying for his parking or whether he ran out. I don't know what the story was, but anyway, there's the ticket inspector, the ticket guy, trying to put the ticket on his car, and this guy does not want him to put the ticket on his car. So he's screaming, he's shouting, people are trying to calm him down. Ticket inspector is completely calm. To his credit, doesn't seem to lose his temper, just walks around him. So he's walking around the ticket inspector trying to put the ticket on the car. This guy is literally following him, yelling, screaming, and at a point he becomes so irate, he pushes the guy 2 or 3 times. He pushes the guy back when the guy tries to put the ticket on his car. So at this point, the ticket inspector goes to the back of the car, and I think he's waiting for the guy to get into the car, then he'll try to put the ticket on. And the guy gets in the car, but the guy actually reverses onto this guy, not hard enough for him to fall or anything, but hard enough to hit the guy. And at this point, I got scared for the ticket guy. I was like, this guy has lost his cool. I mean, he was raging and screaming. He had obviously completely lost, everything. He lost his emotions completely. And as I said, people were trying to calm him down, not listening, just really shouting, very aggressive. So now this guy goes to the back of the car and he reverses into him, and I thought to myself, this ticket guy, I better be careful, because this guy has lost he doesn't know what he's doing. Anyway, so the guy moves away. The ticket inspector now is shouting and asking people, can you see what he's doing? Can you see what he's doing? So he moves to the front of the car, the ticket guy, and the guy actually tries to turn and turns over his foot. So now the ticket guy is like, he just went over my foot, and obviously people saw that, and people were like, yeah, we saw what happened. And basically the guy got on the phone, and I just presumed at that point he was calling the police. Anyway, at that point I had to go in, but I just thought, if this guy had just calmed down, tried to talk to the ticket guy, or just accepted, I've got a ticket, I didn't pay, or it ran out, and move on. But now this has turned into a thing. Anyway, I went into the dentist and completely forgot about it. Came out an hour later and they were still at it. And now the police were there in full force. The place was packed. And now I look over at the guy, the car driver. He's very muted because the police are there. And at that point when I come, I think they're actually about to arrest him. And I just thought to myself, how in God's name did this thing escalate? So it probably went on for about an hour 15. And it started before I got there, so I don't even know how long it had been going on before I got there. But basically, this is just a reminder to us, when something happens, instead of railing against it, especially something that you caused, because obviously I know ticket people, the ticket guys, they drive me crazy too. But if you don't pay for your parking and they catch you, you're in the wrong, right? But regardless of that, to lose your temper so much that not only did it cost him, he basically assaulted the guy, because after running over his foot, he then tried to leave. He was trying to get the car out. He couldn't get the car out. And the ticket guy stood in front of his car to stop him going. And that was the only time I think he realized he was in trouble, because now there was a lot of people there literally yelling at him. So why would someone go from, I got a ticket, it's unfair, or I'm angry, or I don't have the money, or this, I didn't expect this, to literally, he was uncontrollable. Before I went into the dentist, he was yelling so loudly, people were stopping everywhere to look at what was going on. He was the one yelling. The ticket guy, nothing. Calm. Even when he went over his foot, he just asked the people around, can you see he's just gone over my foot? He did not lose his temper. So it's a lesson. It was a lesson for me as well, because I thought so many times we resist things when they happen. We're so angry that something has happened to us, and we just lose our cool. But when you lose your cool, you are in danger, because once your emotions take over, you are not in control of yourself. You can't make good decisions. You're not logical. You know how it is when you lose your temper and you're raging. But this was something I'd never seen anyone like. It was so bad. I was scared for the ticket guy. I thought he was going to harm him. He was so aggressive, so angry. And when I came out and the police were there, completely different person. Muted, just standing there. Now the police are there. Why do you need that to calm you down? Why do you need to escalate a problem? And now he's going to be charged for assault. He's going to be arrested, might spend the night in jail. I don't know what's going to happen to him. All because he simply didn't accept. I got a ticket. That is what it is. Let it be. So it was a lesson to me, just a reminder that we have to learn to allow these little things, to just allow them to be what they are. It is what it is. It has happened. He could have tried to speak to the guy. Maybe the guy would have let him off. I don't know. And if the guy doesn't let him off, then it is what it is. But now he's created, with his own hand, he's created for himself a lot of suffering, because that's not going to end there. That suffering is going to continue. And this is how we bring suffering into our lives. Sometimes we are the architects of our own suffering, because we create a situation, and then when the situation goes out of control, we lose our temper. We take an action, but when the consequences of the action come back to bite us, we lose our temper. And sometimes life dishes us things that are unfair, but life isn't fair. And sometimes we just have to accept that life isn't fair. This has happened to me. The best thing for me to do is accept, deal with it, do the best I can to deal with it if I can. Let it be what it is. But learn to maintain your emotions, to try to control yourself. And in fact, what happens is the more you learn how to control your emotions and regulate your emotions, the better you are at handling things. The better you are at handling the ticket guy, or the car doesn't start, or the child is throwing a tantrum, whatever it is that's really upsetting you. The more you learn how to regulate your emotions, the better you get at being more resilient and dealing with things calmer. So just something I wanted to share with you. It did have an impact on me. It was a huge reminder, and I hope it does the same for you.